Black music started to reflect urban environments through amplified sounds, social concerns, and cultural pride expressed through music. It combines blues, jazz, boogie-woogie, and gospel, taking the form of fast-paced dance music with highly energized guitar work, appealing to young audiences across racial divide. Hi, my name is Donna Duck. Welcome to Duck Talk with Donna, my discussion channel where every topic that I discuss. So it's February, Black History Month. Of course, being that I am black, I am celebrating Black history. Now, not to guilt trip anyone, not to reach, but it is Black History Month. And if you're not subscribed, it is Black History Month. So, you know. I love Black history. Like, I didn't even begin to start learning about my own history until probably I think 4 years ago. And then this was actually when I became homeschooled, started teaching myself pretty much. And it was like there's so much that I didn't learn, so much school didn't teach you. Schools don't teach the proper Black history that everybody needs to know. So I just go on my own to learn about Black history myself. I want to make a few Black history related videos for this month because I want to motivate Black people and people all around to learn more about Black history, because Black people has had a huge impact on this world's history, and a lot of it is not being taught. So this video's topic of discussion is the history of Black music. I love music. Music is like one of my favorite things in the world. Music brings me peace, makes me happy, and learning about music, it just made me happy. Like, just learning about how Black people made this impact on history through their music just made me feel so good on the inside. So I wanted to share what I learned in this video. Music created by Black people has had a huge impact on the world's history. Black people have used and still do music to express themselves, to express the things going on all around them, to put out information. There's 4 big genres of Black music that are like closely related, but they have its differences that, where you can trace back the history of Black music too. So that's what I'm going to be like putting in this video, is those 4 genres and explaining a brief history about them. Before I get into that, there are timestamps in the description, just to put this video in order. And I just want to say, I'm going to probably say this throughout the video, I really encourage people to go out and learn this on their own. It's just better, I feel like the way you choose to learn, that's how you get more information. When I go off and learn things by myself, for myself, I get better information and it sticks with me. So without further ado, let's get into these genres that has shaped the music history of Black people. The first genre of Black music history I'm going to talk about is the blues. Around the 19th century in southern plantation originated the blues. Who were its originators? The slaves. The slaves they would sing songs as they would work. When they didn't work, they would also sing songs to celebrate, to be happy with each other, to dance with each other. These songs were labeled as many different things. They were labeled as work songs, African chants, field hollers, African spirituals, and many more. Blues singers are said to be, when they sing, they're said to be expressing their feelings rather than a story. When I listen to the blues music, it's just, you get this feeling. It's like you can feel what the musicians are singing about. And blues singers would sing about oppression and the struggles that black people face, hence the title, The Blues. One artist that I'm going to mention is Bessie Smith. She was known as the Empress of the Blues. And I will link a video of Bessie Smith singing in the description. When I was learning about Bessie Smith's history, just how the way she sang and her life story, it helped me learn more and understand more about the blues. It helped me understand like exactly what it meant to the black people who sing them and who listen to them. The next black music genre I'm going to mention is rhythm and blues, or more commonly known as R&B. R&B can be traced back to between 1916 and 1960 when African Americans moved from the South to urban areas in up north. This was actually known as the Great Migration. I learned a little bit about the Great Migration in school. It was like after when the slaves were freed, they were trying to escape the segregation, the oppression. They were trying to get a better life, a better lifestyle, I guess. So they moved up north to find a better way of life. Many music today wouldn't exist without the strong influence of rhythm and blues. The term rhythm and blues was coined by the guy named Jerry Wexler in the 1940s. It was changed from race music to rhythm and blues, so it would be less offensive, in the media. To describe what rhythm and blues is, this is what I found. Continuing elements of blues music and African American folk music marked by a strong beat. Some notable artists that give you a good idea of the rhythm and blues that were sung by black people during this time are the Delta Rhythm Boys and Billie Holiday. They also sing other genres, but it gives you a good idea of the type of music that evolved. It gives you an idea of that genre from the time period. Alright, so the next black music genre is jazz. Jazz is described as a wild, jubilant music that makes you feel free and easy, music that makes you feel alive. I got this from NewOrleans.com. That's where jazz is marked as the birthplace in New Orleans. And the person said to have created jazz, to be the originator of jazz, is a guy of the name Buddy Bolden, an African American band leader. He was given the title the first man of jazz. So jazz began to originate in New Orleans, during the slave times, when the slaves weren't working, and they would go probably in church or in celebration. They would sing, play music, and dance. And at this time, it was the blues, but it evolved from the blues. So a little bit after the Civil War, white people would mock the black people, mock their music by dancing to it and dressing up in blackface. I mention this because black people were facing oppression. Black people were facing racism. Black people were struggling and going through the hard times that they went through. And blues musicians used trumpets and trombones and other instruments that are common in jazz music to mimic the sounds of their voices. It was like they were singing the emotions through their instruments. Eventually, ragtime and blues would come together, combined with soulful melodies and upbeat dance tunes. Jazz began to emerge. Buddy Bolden's recordings don't exist today, but his music was described to have had the characteristics of what is described as jazz. Some jazz music that would be, an example, some artists who would give a great example of jazz music is Duke Ellington and King Oliver's Creole Jazz Band. Just like I said in the beginning, learning about these artists helps learn about the genre. Jazz helps learn about the time, helps learn about what caused black people to make the music they made, what caused them to sing it, what were they feeling, what were they experiencing. It's just a great way to learn about Black history. And the last, but definitely not least, Black music genre is soul. Many genres created by Black people, like the blues, R&B, forms of jazz, and gospel music, is described as what soul is. What soul music is a combination of all those genres. And in the 1950s and 1960s, Black musicians used soul music to express their oppression that was going on during the era. And this era was the civil rights movement, the time of the civil rights. A few popular artists that you probably have heard of are Ray Charles, Etta James, Sam Cooke, Aretha Franklin, and there's so many more. So many singers, Black singers, who would sing about, this time of their struggles. And the artist who was said to be the originator of soul is Ray Charles. He was a blind musician known as the Genius, and he was the one known for creating soul music. I loved his story. I love learning about him. There's many documentaries about the life of Ray Charles, about his story of why he created music and what led him to continue to create music, what his whole life story, and it gives you a great example of soul music. There's many more artists who sing soul, and you can get a great idea, like the ones I mentioned. One of my favorite is Aretha Franklin. I love pretty much all her music. Literally, I can sit on her songs and just play them through and just listen. Black people music is just so good. It's honestly, it's the best music in the world. Honestly, that is a fact. That no one can tell me no different. That is a fact. All right, music today. A lot of music created by Black people today and other artists comes from these main genres that I mentioned that Black people created in the past. A lot of music is inspired by these genres as well. A lot of artists sample some of these past music in their songs, and they combine it with their own music style and create different music that we hear today. And I love discovering new music. I love discovering new sounds, new artists, and learning about them, learning about what caused them to go on their path. It's just like a cycle. Back then, Black people singed about what was going on around them, their struggles, their accomplishments. They seem to have their voices heard, and Black artists continue to do that today. And with that being said, I will conclude this video of the history of Black music. Now, I barely touched the surface. Seriously, there's so much to be learned about Black history. There's so much more that can be learned about Black history, and I think it's very important that people should go out and learn about these things, because it's like the saying goes, history should never be forgotten. But it's not even being forgotten because it's never being taught. Does that make sense? I stuttered, but seriously, Black history is very important, and I really do think this month is important. But I do think Black history needs to be taught more than just this month. It shouldn't just be a month and then okay, we'll wait till next year. It should be all year round. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, that's great. I enjoyed learning about Black history. I enjoyed learning about the history of Black music, and I just wanted to put this out there, what I learned, and I want to motivate other people to learn about it too. So and make sure you check the description box for more information that was mentioned in this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell to be notified for further videos, which will be soon. And until the next video.